Very good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Uncommon Sense number 85. A bit of a change up today. It's Craig Kamanis with you and nobody else. Dean is out and about with some other tasks today, and I had a number of opportunities where I could have got a guest in or I could have done any of those things, but I know Dean had a crack at one episode on his own, and I was at his Wealth Network Planning Day last week or the week before, but lots of stuff was coming up about personal challenges and all of that type of thing. And even though this is number 85 and we've been doing them all the time, I thought having a crack at this on my own was a really good personal challenge to throw down and see what we could do. So this is it. You've got me, my mic, my mate behind me keeping an eye on me. And so who knows where this goes, ladies and gentlemen, or what we get out of this, but we're going to have a crack. And I guess the first thing out of this is, if there's something on your mind from a personal challenge perspective, something that's going to slightly push you out of your comfort zone, here I am doing it today. Maybe have a crack and think about what the personal challenge is that you're looking for, and maybe force yourself into it and just have a go. So who knows how long today goes for. But what I did think about is, what am I going to talk about? And the first thing it reminded me of was when I was in high school and I did work experience. I actually went to a radio station to do work experience with the talkback radio jock, because one of the things in my mind was, maybe I'd like to do radio or something like that when I get older. So this is probably as close as I'm ever going to get to living that out. So if you're listening along on LinkedIn now and want to throw a comment up, hopefully I'll see it as we're talking, but do that. And if you're on your walk or doing wherever you are, in a bus, driving and listening through some of our other listening channels, thanks for following along, and hopefully we can make this next little bit worth your listening while. So the first place I wanted to go to is, I was sitting there thinking, what could we talk about today? Obviously, I live in Adelaide, and one of the things that happens in late July, early August is if you have standard roses, you need to actually cut them back. So on Saturday, I took to the task. I've got 8 standard roses out the front, a little bit of a green thumb. Not many people know that about me other than my lawn obsession, but I have 8 standard roses, which have been there for literally since 2003. They're my pride and joy. They're the ones that the neighbours comment on as they walk past and all of those types of things. And one of the reasons they're so strong and they're so good is that around this time of year, every year, I cut them back brutally. And it's a tough thing to do at first. So, because obviously they're always looking quite nice. But just around this time of year, there's a little sign where you can, if you look at them closely enough, you can see that they're ready to be hacked away at and cut back. And so I had a good look on Saturday and I could see those little signs. And so I have chopped them back to literally nothing. Maybe I'll take a photo later and post it in the comments if anyone's interested, but it's basically just a rose cut right back. But I do it brutally. Like, I do not leave a leaf. I do not even leave any new growth at this point in time, because I want them all to be cut right back and to be consistent. And then what happens following that cutback is that you get a sensational bloom and you get a really strong bush for the rest of through spring and summer, and they just dominate. Like, they just keep flowering and really go for it. But I know if you don't do that cutback, then you don't get as strong a result through spring and summer as you move forward. And so that linkage got me thinking around a financial advice business. And with your business owner hat on, when's the last time you stopped and looked at a process and thought, God, that could really do with a tidy up? Like, it's going to look ugly for a while, but if we actually do it, the result of doing that is actually going to make us much stronger as we move forward. So I guess challenge number 1 for me that I'm throwing out to everyone is, what is the standard rose bush in your business that you could actually now cut right back, clean up, get it ready, that would allow you to have some extra growth or some extra efficiencies or whatever it might be that's going to make your business stronger going forward? And are you looking out for that? Are you looking for that sign, like with the rose, I'm ready now for you to chop me right back so I can go again? What are the things going on in your business that could do with that? What could you chop right back, reestablish something, get something going that's going to make your business stronger as you move forward? And I think that's often an opportunity we don't get a lot of time to do, but I think it would be a great thing to reflect on and think about. just to take your business forward and think through to that next step. So that's the roses. So like I said, we might chuck a picture up later in the comments on LinkedIn about where they look now, and then maybe we'll not time lapse it or anything, but take the opportunity when they're back to full strength to show you what they look like and why it's worthwhile. It's always funny because I always get neighbors commenting, "What have you done to your roses? Why have you done that?" It's because I want them to be big and strong, and I want them to bounce back better every single year. And that's what they do. Don't get me started on my lawn. We could talk about that in September when we cut that back and do the same thing. So there's lots of things going on there where, review it, see if you can cut it right back, see if you can really refresh it, and then let it grow and go on. So that's the roses. I was reading a quote the other day. I think I saw it on LinkedIn or Instagram or somewhere. And so I took a screenshot of that one in prep for today because I think it is resounded with me and I liked the message that it was giving. So the quote is, "Embarrassment is the cost of entry. If you aren't willing to look like a foolish beginner, you'll never be a graceful master." And I think what I took from this one is the ability to try something new and not be embarrassed by it. And it's okay sometimes to look like that foolish beginner on your way to being a graceful master. So again, I think it's just a reminder for people to go, if there's something sitting in your mind and embarrassment's holding you back, try and push it to the side and give it a go and have a real crack. It's okay to be a foolish beginner, because if it's something that you really want to do, you should have a go at it and turn yourself maybe into a graceful master at it as you progress and move forward. So don't be afraid, roll up your sleeves, have a crack. And I think that's another really little important message that I saw. The next one that I saw, and I really like this one because leadership and that type of thing is quite important to me. And who are your leaders and what model are they setting for you? And who have you led in the past? And what do those things look like? And so this one said, "There's an employee who still thinks of you because you were kind to them. Never stop being that leader." And I think that's a great quote to keep in the back of your head. There's been moments in time where everyone's probably really helped a team member, worked with them, been kind to them. And everyone's probably got their own example where they know how that's influenced them and how often they still think about that through different scenarios in life and things that they come up with. If you are leading people, if you are leading a business, think about those times. And as he said, never stop being that person, because what will happen is life will change around you. Business will change around you, whether you're on a massive growth trajectory or you're trying to hold still or you're bringing new people in or you're meeting new clients, and all this stuff around us changes. And sometimes you need to adapt as a leader. But I think that, excuse me, that genuine kindness to people as a leader will never, ever go astray. And people will always remember that. And they will always stay true to what you left with them. But they'll always reflect on that time where you did help them or you were simply just kind to them and a really good leader. So I thought that one really resounded with me as well when I saw that. And so I guess I just wanted to share that one because I know a number of people listening are leading really great advice businesses. And as they get bigger, they get more people. And it's often important to stop and think about the type of leader you want to be and think about the impression you want to make with your team and how you want them to see you into the future. And I speak to a number of advice firms, and one of the messages I love the most, and it came up again this week with a practice that I'd never met before, when you ask them what it is they want to do with their business and why they're building it. And I've heard it now for the second, third time. I want to build a legacy because there's some great people that have decided to come and work with me in my business. And so the legacy that I want to set up for them into the future so that they can continue with it is really important to me. And I think that kind of leadership is really outstanding. And no doubt that will even filter through the whole business and filter into how people are interacting with clients and the types of things that they're doing there as well. Yeah, that one stood out too. The other one that stood out to me is something when Dean and I had a great chat with Cam Fink last week. And I think he made the comment, if you want to be attractive, you have to learn to be repellent. And I thought that was a really great quote too, because this comes back to some strategic work that we've done with firms over time about where to play and how to win and who is your actual target market and are you actually going after them, because you can't be everything to everyone. And so those words just really stuck with me in terms of This could go back to the refresh of the business too. Are the clients you seeing the ones that you want to attract? Or are you attracting clients and just dealing with them when they should be the ones that you actually want to repel because they're not the people that you want to be working with? And so I guess it depends on what stage your business is at as this progresses through. But the message in it is okay, maybe at the start, as a startup business, you need to get clients on and you need to build. And you might have set a strategy to go, this is what I'm going after, but I'm not getting enough of them. Maybe you need to pivot a little bit and think about strategically who else might I be able to see that I could turn. But once you get into a mature stage and you've actually sat with your team and reflected on who are the clients we're best working with, who are the clients that we can make the most difference with, and most importantly, who are the clients we can win with, being that the client actually gets value from the interaction with you, but your business also creates value from transacting with them. And that's where you need to start directing yourself. So, therefore, to be attractive to those, as this comment was that Cam, you need to learn to be repellent to the others and not just take them, and perhaps think through ways of why are they actually looking at us and wanting to deal with us when that's not really who we deal with. What does your messaging look like, and how do all of those type of things go together? So they were a few things that just popped up to me over the week as I was preparing to run solo for number 85. And this is what great teams do, right? Dean and I, we're very invested in Uncommon Sense. We're very invested in continuing to make it work. We're really invested in getting to our goal of number 100. And what that means is you have to bounce off each other. And Dean has done some great guest episodes of late where he's brought guests in, and he's been carrying that can to help push us forward. And today was my turn to have a go as well. And that's what great teams do, is they have each other's back. They really want to look after each other, and they really want to strive to try and hit that same goal, even if it means sometimes pushing yourself out of your comfort zone, like I am doing right now. And I'm probably rambling, so I should probably just wrap it up. Excuse me. I've also learned that if you're doing this on your own and you're talking a lot, your throat gets really dry. So it's nice to have someone to give you that balance. But I'm about to hit 14 minutes, to be honest. I didn't even think I was going to get to 5 minutes. I'm pretty happy with that. So let's just re-summarize what we spoke about, and then I'll get the hell off and everyone can get on with their day. Set yourself a personal challenge. If there's something in your mind you want to try and achieve, do what I did today. Just have a crack. The roses, sometimes you got to cut stuff right back for it to be stronger and better. So think through that. It's okay to be embarrassed and have a crack at something, and not be great at it if you want to become a master. And for the leaders out there, remember the employee that's always thinking about you because of the kindness you showed. Don't ever stop that. And if you want to be attractive, you have to learn to be repellent. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening and following along. This was Uncommon Sense number 85. I hope you take something from one of those little tips, and we look forward to being back with Dean and I together for another few great episodes as we head to number 100. Have a great day.